Well, welcome to the 700 Club, and thanks for joining us. Despite U.S. military strikes, the Houthis in Yemen continue to launch missiles at Israel. Hezbollah is also on the offensive, firing rockets from southern Lebanon.
Well, in Jerusalem, Benjamin Netanyahu told an international conference that anti-Semitism is a global disease. He says it's carried by barbarians and threatens all civilized societies. CBN's Chris Mitchell reports.
Israelis ran for cover once again as the Houthis in Yemen launched 2 more missiles at Israel in the middle of the day on Thursday. Interceptors shot both of them down. The U.S. has been hitting the Houthis with air and missile strikes for 2 weeks now in an attempt to halt their attacks on Israel and global shipping passing through the Red Sea. President Trump says the Houthi attacks have killed many and disrupted international shipping, but the U.S. offensive is making an impact.
The attacks have been very successful, even beyond our wildest expectations. We've hit them very hard, very successfully, and we're going to do it for a long time.
The administration reportedly has sent another ceasefire proposal to Hamas, seeking the release of American hostage Edan Alexander and a breakthrough in ceasefire negotiations. But so far, no reply from the terror group. Meanwhile, the IDF is striking targets in southern Lebanon after 2 rockets were launched at Israel this morning. In Jerusalem, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu thanked those who came to an international anti-Semitism conference to stand against what he called barbarism.
I say barbarism because anti-Semitism is a disease carried by barbarians that threaten all civilized societies. These anti-Semites wish to destroy not only the Jewish state, they seek to destroy the forces of modernity. In the Arab and Muslim world, they seek to drag it back to a primitive and violent medievalism.
Netanyahu warned the fires of anti-Semitism are spreading across the Western world.
They rage in Europe's capitals, in the Western press, in social media. They rage in America's elite universities.
A Turkish student at Massachusetts elite Tufts University has been arrested by ICE agents for alleged pro-Hamas activities. Secretary of State Marco Rubio explained why Rumeysa Öztürk's visa has been yanked, and others would be as well.
We gave you a visa to come and study and get a degree, not to become a social activist that tears up our university campuses. And if we've given you a visa and then you decide to do that, we're going to take it away. I encourage every country to do that.
With the 500% spike in anti-Semitic incidents on American campuses, Congress is stepping in to help fight it.
Universities have been put on notice. Failing to protect a student's civil rights will no longer be tolerated. If universities refuse to follow the law, to address discrimination on campuses, and to support Jewish students, then they should not expect the support of the federal taxpayer.
Senator Cassidy also announced the probe into the activities of the group American Muslims for Palestine on college campuses, claiming its leaders have ties to Hamas. Chris Mitchell, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Well, this Senate investigation into American Muslims for Palestine is really significant. Let me give you some other names of supposed nonprofit groups that have been formed, and it all has interlinking executives involved in all of them. Students for Justice in Palestine, Islamic Association for Palestine, and the head of American Muslims for Palestine is a UC Berkeley lecturer. His name is Hatan Bazayan. The Attorney General of the state of Virginia, right after October 7th, subpoenaed American Muslims for Palestine, wanted to look at their records. And so far, they've delayed it. There's even a federal judge last summer that supported the subpoena and ordered them to produce their records. And it's just amazing to me that they're able to sort of slip through our justice system without disclosing who's really funding this. Students for Justice in Palestine is absolutely behind these student protests. And you see an echo of that organization in all of the campus occupations. So Where's the money coming from is a very good question. What is the ideology behind this? And the allegation is they're an offshoot of the Muslim Brotherhood, just like Hamas is an offshoot of the Muslim Brotherhood. So to have these nonprofit groups activity right here in the United States, fomenting dissent on our own college campuses, absolutely we need to follow the money. Where is this coming from? We also need to follow all of the influence Qatar has in the United States, and in some instances at the highest level of our government, and the amount of money being spent by Qatar for this influence in America is absolutely staggering. And the amount of money that they've given to various universities, again, absolutely staggering. Are we allowing this kind of propaganda to exist? It shouldn't have escaped anybody's notice that where in the world do these students have enough money to purchase all of these posters, the matching tents? I mean, you look at it and it's obviously organized, it's obviously funded. And if that funding is from foreign sources, if that funding is from terrorist sources, then the U.S. government needs to pay real close attention to it. I keep hearing this is all in the name of free speech. Well, occupying universities, shutting down classes, chanting so loud no one can hear the lecture, making threats against the Jewish students, none of that is protected free speech. And it needs to be fully examined who's paying for it and why is it happening in such a broad way on our campuses, and the timing of it. Why is it happening literally within hours of the attack of October 7th? Those are very important questions. Let's make sure we get the answers.